It's spring sports championship time, and yeah, the Terriers are bringing home the hardware. Athletic Director Drew Marrochello sits down with two seniors closing out their stellar careers at BU. Plus, we'll bring you the story of lightweight rower Kylie Law, who's overcome incredible adversity to become one of the best. That's all next on BU Terriers Unleashed.
2-1. Goes back up the middle. Here comes the winning run. Around. Will the throw be in time? No! Terriers walk it off!
Another successful regular season for the defending Patriot League champion BU softball team. However, the squad faced a lot of adversity with only two returning seniors and a host of injuries. So they entered this year's tournament as the number 2 seed.
I think expectations the past couple of years have been high for those kids, and you graduate a lot, and I think a lot of people have things to say, right? They're like, oh, they're reloading, they're rebuilding. I think for us, tradition never graduates, so my expectations the entire time are to win the championship. Going into the weekend, we felt like we had kind of a chip on our shoulder. We were excited, we believed in ourselves, we were ready to just, whatever was coming at us, we knew that we could handle it because that's what we've done all season.
In Game 1 of this year's tournament against Lehigh, sophomore Sophie Nyvar's homer gave BU a 1-0 lead, while junior hurler Casey Ricard held the Mountain Hawks scoreless until rain halted play in the 5th inning, a delay that wound up lasting 41 hours and left the Terriers 6 outs short of victory.
I think 6 outs I think that is more difficult than playing a full game. A complete game, you have ebbs and flows, right? You have highs, you have lows. 6 outs is a very, very specific, 2 innings of softball to play, and at any point a team could go either way. So I felt like that was actually probably the most difficult part of the weekend.
And Ricard fancer.
When play finally resumed, Ricard returned to the hill and continued her dominant performance, retiring all 6 batters she faced to close out a thrilling 1-0 victory.
Mets hauls it in, and BU, for the 2nd straight season, takes down Lehigh 1-0.
However, no time for the Terriers to celebrate, as just 30 minutes later they took on number 1 seed Army. Casey Ricard took the mound again for her 2nd game of the day.
I think it was a little bit of a weight lifted off of our shoulders just winning that first one. I think we always go in that focus like one at a time, and winning that first game versus Army is a huge weightlifter. Going in knowing the next day that Army would have to beat us twice really puts a lot of pressure off of it. I know our team is hard to beat twice, so.
15 strikeouts over 13 shutout innings for Ricard, and an offensive explosion led by junior Brooke Depies, who was 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs, as BU run rules Army for a huge 8-0 win.
I think that game was great because it showed how everyone on our team made a difference this year. I think we had so many different contributors. We had people coming off the bench. We had people filling in at different positions. We had a lot of fun that game. We let loose. We were able to just do what we do.
The next day, it was Ricard again getting the start versus Army. However, a first-inning home run by the Black Knights leads to her quick exit. So with the Patriot League title on the line, freshman Danica Nell, who missed significant time due to injury, gets the call in relief.
I mean, going into the championship game, everyone knows it's a big deal, but you kind of got to go about it as if it's just another game. And yeah, I was ready in the bullpen. Me and Casey were both throwing back there, and then as soon as my name was called, I was just so glad to help her out. She's built for that moment. She's spent so long trying to get back on the field. She has been an incredible teammate through all of it, and to have her wait for that moment and absolutely shine when it was her time, it was so special. I mean, I have like chills thinking about it.
Tournament MVP Brooke Depies knocks home the tying runs in the 5th inning, then scores the go-ahead marker on a clutch Kylie Doherty single. Nell finishes the game strong with 7 scoreless innings, and BU wins an incredible 3rd straight Patriot League championship.
Yeah, it was really exciting to be back in that moment. My first 2 years, it was pretty much the same team going at it, so it really was a different feeling this year and a whole different team. But, just instilling that confidence in the underclassmen that we are the best team in the Patriot League and we can do it. I think everyone had that faith and that energy going into it, knowing that, you know, even though they placed us 2 seed, even though we had a couple downfalls early in the season, I think everyone had that faith that we were the best in the Patriot League.
I don't know if it's sunk in yet. I think I saw the other day it was like 7 and 10 years, and one of those years was COVID, so there wasn't even a championship. It's special. Like, I don't take for granted what the championship meant. They all mean something, and they all mean something different, but each team has been pretty cool.
Up next, Athletic Director Drew Marrochello is joined by women's hockey standout Maggie Hanzel as BU Terriers Unleashed rolls on. On the Cooper River in Pensacola, New Jersey, the BU women's rowing program won their 2nd consecutive Patriot League championship, thanks to victories by the Varsity 8, the Varsity 4, and the 2nd Varsity 4. The win gave the Terriers an automatic berth in the 2025 NCAA Championships, and for the 2nd year in a row, secured Patriot League Coach of the Year honors for Director of Women's Rowing Malcolm Doldren.
As our school year ends, this is kind of a regular annual feature on Terriers Unleashed. We talk to a couple of graduating seniors, in this case, class of 2025. I'm joined by Maggie Hanzel, defenseman on our women's hockey team, Hockey East champion women's hockey team. Maggie hails from Rochester, Minnesota, and obviously a hockey hotbed that you are from, and you chose to come to another hockey hotbed. What drove you to make the decision to come to BU?
Yeah, I think it was definitely something during my recruiting process during high school that I wanted somewhere that had that tradition and culture and lived and breathed hockey, like where I was from and what I was used to. And as soon as I stepped foot on campus on my visit, I knew that BU had that. It was an amazing school, amazing sports city in Boston. I wanted to be a part of it. Yeah, I just knew that it was a place that I wanted to end up, and I'm so fortunate that I got to. So
we start at the beginning, where you chose to come to BU, and we'll end at the end, where you had a fabulous senior year. Really, the whole team had a great 24-25 campaign. Walter Brown construction renovation project finished, Hockey East champs. Could you have ended it any better?
No, honestly. I pinch myself when I look back at it because it really was a storybook ending for me. I think that we've, as a team, been through so much in the past couple of years, and I've really gotten to see all kinds of different struggles and amazing feats, and I think that being able to end it on top like that, and also then the renovations at Walter Brown, and really felt like we kind of put the program back on the map and back rolling the way it should be and the way it has been in the past. So it's really exciting to see now, knowing that we set it up kind of for the future, and now I get to just watch and see how amazing everyone does. So I'm really excited for that.
Spectate now, right?
Exactly, be a fan.
Let's talk about the celebration on the ice at UConn. I thought that was just a great, joyous moment for everybody.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was one of the best feelings of my life. I look back and I watch videos of it so much because I think that was one of the most incredible feelings that I've never had before. I remember looking up to my parents in the stands. My dad was crying, and I just knew that like everything that we had been through, everything that the team had been through the past couple of years, everything was so worth it.
I was actually going to say that I'm glad you threw your dad in, because one of my favorite memories was seeing the parents walking after and the dad's crying.
Every dad was crying.
Yeah, it was great, but
it was
a really
awesome.
Special team. And you were a leader on that team. You wore a letter this year. What was that leadership role like, and what does that mean to you?
It meant a lot to me. It was a big honor. I think that I took it very seriously. I wanted to be the best kind of captain that I could be for my team. I think that our leadership group was so solid this year. I was really lucky to be with Jay Sean's, Kylie, Bach, and Tamara as our captain. I couldn't have done it without them. We really leaned on each other a lot and kind of took ownership of our team and our culture and tried to make the best environment that we could for success, and I was really, really happy to be a part of that.
Your dad said something to me after one of the games, that you have this network in Boston right now of some of the men's hockey players, and that these guys have become uncles to you. What's it like being part of just that big hockey network?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything that you ask for when you come to BU. It's a hockey school, and you come here and you meet all kinds of incredible people that will set you up for success in anything in your life. And I kind of knew that going in. It was really exciting. It was one of the biggest factors for me, is just being a part of that whole hockey culture. So yeah, it's been incredible to have so much mentorship and people at my games cheering for me and everything. So
You're going to leave here with a degree from Questra, right, which is a wonderful program, prestigious program. What are your next plans?
I'm moving to Boston. I'm staying. I'm going to work in accounting in Boston next fall. I start, so I won't be far. I'm really excited to start the new chapter of my life, but still not be too far from BU. So
You're an official transplant from Minnesota now?
yes, exactly. Made it official.
Glad you're here.
Yeah,
Glad you're here.
Me too.
Coming up, we'll have the inspiring story of Kylie Law, who has come back from a serious health crisis to become a top performer for the lightweight rowing team. So stay with us. Meet Kylie Law, a standout rower from North Andover, Massachusetts, who's making waves for the BU lightweight rowing team.
So I started rowing in 6th grade, pretty early for most people. This is my 10th year rowing, so I've been at it for a really long time. I'm a veteran at this sport.
In the summer of 2022, while preparing for her freshman year at BU, Kylie was attending a rowing camp in rural New Zealand when the unimaginable happened.
So I went to this camp in the middle of my summer, which is their winter, and it was cold, but it was really, really fun. So there happened to be a snowstorm the day after we got there. So I was just scrolling on Instagram in my hotel room, and everything started to spin and everything went black. And I fell to the side, and when I came to, everything was spinning, it was blurry. I was losing control of my limbs. And when I tried to yell for help, it was slurred and very, very hard for me to actually just move.
Due to an undetected heart defect and other contributing factors, Kylie had suffered a stroke. Not knowing what was wrong, a coach put her in the team van to make the long journey to the nearest hospital, which presented another problem.
The closest hospital was, I think, about 3 or 4 hours away, but the trip overall ended up taking much, much longer just because of all of the snow and the road closures. I got sick every 5 seconds on the drive, on the way there. It was a horrible experience, and I had a moment where I just didn't want to make it because it was just so hard. And once I got to the hospital, no one knew that I was having a stroke. They completely overlooked it. It went right over their heads that I could have been having a stroke. And the only time that we actually found out that I had a stroke is when I got an MRI done in New Zealand, and they realized, oh, like you had a stroke.
Kylie's mom rushed to New Zealand and helped her get back to Boston, where the heart defect was repaired. While she received further treatment, Kylie remarkably started her freshman year at BU.
I was taking my classes, and I couldn't take all my classes because when I initially came to college, I couldn't write. My right side of my body is the side that was affected, so I was a righty. I had to teach myself how to be a lefty for my entire freshman year of college, and obviously I had the rowing team, and the rowing team, it was the hardest thing ever going into the rowing team, knowing that that was my dream and I couldn't do it.
While her freshman year was extremely difficult, Kylie kept working in the classroom, in the gym, and eventually back on the water.
There are little injuries that come up here and there that athletes need to really be persistent through, but a big medical issue like that is really another challenge to come through. And I think there are athletes that don't come back from some of those medical challenges. And I know that in her freshman year, she really had to kind of build back up. So she's really shown that she's able to persist through those challenges as well.
I am just a very grateful, very determined person. I get out on the water, I get in the classroom, or just every day, and I'm determined that I can do anything that I set my mind to.
Coming down the race course here, it does look like Boston has a pretty sizable lead.
They've looked good. They've looked great all weekend, so.
Kylie not only overcame adversity to get back in the boat with her team, she excelled. Among other victories, she and teammate Caroline Burchett won the 2024 IRA Lightweight Double National Championship. Kylie repeated as national champion earlier in June, teaming up with Kat Clark to win the double.
That's one thing about Kylie, is she wants to win no matter what. She has such determination in whatever lineup she's in. She really is just so gritty and will push whoever she's with to be their best and to their fullest potential.
So I've been working with Kylie for the past 2 years, and I would say she's incredibly fierce as a racer. She's really intuitive about how boats move and how to make them go well. And then also on race day, just really turns the jets on and has some really excellent performances on race day.
Along with her inspiring success on the water, Kylie is also giving back. She was part of a national campaign with the American Heart Association and continues to raise awareness about stroke, all with a deep appreciation for her time at Boston University.
Every single day I wake up, I think I'm thankful to be there, and I don't want to take anything for granted. So whenever I'm on the water with my team, if a workout hurts, I love the pain. I love that it hurts. I love the challenge that it gives me, and same thing in the classroom. I love the challenge that it gives me, and I'm just thankful to be there with my team and my coaches and representing BU every single day.
Next up on BU Terriers Unleashed, the women's tennis team is back on top, and Drew Marrochello sits down with track and field star Stephen Franco. So don't go anywhere.
As we continue talking to members of the class of 2025, I'm pleased to be joined by Stephen Franco, not Steve. We're going to refer to your name so your mother's happy as you said that, right, Stephen? From Armonk, New York, who's a member of our track and field team. Great to be with you.
Nice to be with you, Drew.
You are a competitor in track, as I said, the multi-events, right? You have won the heptathlon and the decathlon at the Patriot League. I'm going to go right back to last year. Tell me about winning the heptathlon, because it was one of my favorite memories of really the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was really special. A lot of people deal with adversity prior to meets, but I dealt with adversity in the competition as a whole with pulling the hamstring before the 1,000. It was just a really special memory because, I had an opportunity to quit, but I know that's not the way we do things at Boston University, so I had to finish it out for the program.
Kind of struggled across the finish line.
Right? I did,
but
of course.
You won the heptathlon, and then this year, the decathlon, right? Tell us what led you to come here as an undergrad.
Yeah, for me, BU is just such a great academic school and has a fantastic network and great reputation amongst alumni, as well as the athletic department. I really liked what the athletic department stood for, and especially with the success that the hockey programs had, I really felt that could be translated down to track. And I'm really pleased with the leadership we've had, with the coaches we have here, and very pleased with my decision.
So you've now gone through 4 years, and you talk about what BU Athletics stood for. That's why you chose to come here. What as a graduating senior does BU Athletics stand for?
BU Athletics stands for, I think, just that dog mentality, that dog eat dog and backing down from nobody. I think that's what it stands for. That's what I love about it.
Like it. Let's talk about the track and field program right now. Right, we had a pretty good year this year in terms of where we placed both the men and the women. What's the change over the last year look like culturally to you?
Oh, it's been fantastic. A really positive environment. Coach Cartwright, Coach Macy, Coach Molds, and Coach K do a fantastic job with every single event group, and you really feel the positive energy throughout the entire building, throughout every day. We have a very clear vision of what we want to do in the future. This year was a great stepping stone, but I'm really excited to come back and see what the program can accomplish years from now.
So we have the fortune of having the Track and Tennis Center right on campus, and it's known as the fastest track in the world.
Yep.
Right, and it stood the test of time, right? It's actually factual. It's also one of the loudest environments when you're inside. What's it like competing in there?
Oh, it's surreal. It's my favorite place to compete in the world, and I wouldn't want to compete anywhere else for an indoor meet. It's fantastic there.
Yeah, people talk about this track and that track, and the best in the world come. They come here and they compete here and they love it. So. All right, Stephen, wonderful to be here with you, and congratulations again on a great career. Congratulations on all your accomplishments. You're leaving with some records here for Boston University. We wish you nothing but the best in the future.
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it.
After a hard-fought loss in the 2024 Patriot League Finals, the BU women's tennis team stormed into this year's championships with straight sets victories over Colgate and Navy. then faced #1 seed Army in the title match, where the Terriers got the job done.
It was awesome. It was a great experience. My team and I are so proud of each other, and we really had a lot of motivation coming into this year after having such a heartbreaking loss. We just came back more motivated, and it was really sweet holding up the trophy all together.
I think it was a really great way to go out. It's definitely the way I wanted to go out. So that was our main goal throughout the year. That's what we were building towards the entire year. And especially coming so close last year and not getting it, that was a really big kick for us to keep working hard. So it was really great, and I'm so happy that the team managed to do it this year.
This season's success marked the 22nd conference championship for legendary director of tennis Leslie Sheehan, who, after her standout career as a player at BU, has now completed 40 years as head coach and created an enduring legacy with generations of players.
I didn't just grow as an athlete here. I grew as a person, and a lot of that came from Leslie, both just her style, but also the fact that, she cares about what you're doing off the court. She cares about what you're doing academically. She's just so good at creating that environment that's friendly while being very competitive and competing at a very high level, which again, I think it's a very tough balance, and she does it incredibly well.
First of all, I went to BU and I had a great experience. I loved it. I absolutely love BU. I think it's one of the best places to be. And it's great tennis-wise because you're able to balance the tennis and the academics and them being in this great city. And I think that's what I like about coaching at BU is because I want to be able to mentor the whole person and not just the tennis player.
What a year for Boston University, as well as all of its sports teams and student athletes. So throw those caps. Congratulations and best wishes to all Terrier graduates. That'll do it for this season. We'll be back soon with more exciting episodes of BU Terriers Unleashed.